Hi, everybody. Welcome to Convertible Conversations. Boy, what a beautiful October day it is. The blue sky behind me is just amazing. It's about 70 degrees and couldn't be nicer, really. Well, this week we're going to start a new series. I'm calling this week's part of it, Who Do You Think You Are? So I'd like to start out by asking you to think about one thing in your life that you'd like to change. Not change your spouse or your kids or your boss or a relative, but one thing you'd like to change about yourself. After today, you may be able to do that. Hope you will. So sort of keep that in mind as we go. One thing you'd like to change. Now, I'm going to give you some more questions too. You may want to, well, I would encourage you to write these down and think about this between now and tomorrow. All right? Write down 3 things that describe who you are. Just write down, who am I? And write down 3 things. And then the next question, how did I get this way? And think about that. All right, here's another one. What'll happen if I stay this way? And then, is that okay? Now, assuming that you answered that, if that's okay with you, is it okay if you stay the way you are without changing with the people that you live with? Is it okay with God if you stay the way you are without changing? We're going to take several days to look at what I believe is arguably the most important passage in the Bible about who we really are, the real us, and then how that affects our everyday life, all of our relationships, especially in the areas of our life that we would like to change. Here's the passage, 2 Corinthians 5:14-21. Paul writes, "The love of Christ compels us, having concluded this, that one died for all, therefore all died. And since Christ died for all, so that they who might no longer live for themselves, but live for him who died and rose again on their behalf. Therefore, from now on we recognize no one according to the flesh, although we have known Christ according to the flesh, yet now we know him this way no longer. Therefore, since anyone is in Christ, he or she is a new creature, a new creation. The old things have passed away. Behold, the new things have come. Now, all of these things are from God, who reconciled us to himself through Christ and gave us the ministry of reconciliation. Namely, that God was in Christ at the cross, reconciling the whole cosmos to himself, not counting anyone's sins or trespasses against them. And he has now committed to us the word of reconciliation. Therefore, we are ambassadors for Christ, as though God were making an appeal through us. We beg you, on behalf of Christ, be reconciled to God. God made Jesus, who knew no sin, to be sin on our behalf, so that we might become the righteousness of God in him. Now, I encourage you between now and tomorrow to read that passage, 2 Corinthians 5:14-21, in a few different versions. Think about it, meditate on it, pray about it, and honestly ask these questions that I posed at the beginning. Tomorrow, then, we'll dive into what it means that the love of Christ resonates in us and compels us. See you then. Thanks, everybody.